How's it going, everybody? Thought I'd do something a little different today. I was gonna do another video on a couple more Batman I was getting in for Neal Adams, but then I realized a lot of what I'm collecting for Batman is Neal Adams anyway, and I might as well just show you the whole Batman collection. Unlike my Amazing Spider-Man, which is these entire 4 boxes, as I'm doing Amazing Spider-Man 1 through 400, my Batman run is only about one short box. My Detective Comics run is only about one short box. And a good chunk of both of those are just the Neal Adams I'm collecting. So for today, I thought I'd just go over my entire main Batman run. It won't be any mini-series, no one-shots. It's not going to be the New 52 or anything newer than that. It's just going to be my main Batman run I've been working on, the one that I've been being a little bit more choosy with. So I'm not trying to complete it. There's not like a set start and a set finish. It's just certain issues I want, honing in on them, getting them, adding them to the collection. And right now, I've gotten most of them, and it's only a short box, so I can't imagine I'm really going to go too far over that. But I figure rather than little pieces here and there, we're just going to go over the whole collection today. So tune in, we're going to get a little bit of a close-up, and let the books be the star today. So here we go. All right, so starting it off, we have Batman issue 0. And I honestly kind of hate this because they did that thing where the 0 issue came out way after issue number 1 and so on. So that to put it in your box chronologically, it has to go at the beginning. But I hate having a book this new in with 10-cent, 12-cent Batmans. I hate it. I'd rather have it with the newer stuff. But nevertheless, starting off with issue number 0. Next up is the only 10-cent Batman issue I have. It is Batman number 135. Haven't actually read this yet, so I have no idea what is going on with this cover. It is just crazy Bat Signal versus Signal. No idea. Next up we have issue 147. And this is probably in the worst condition out of anything I have so far. It is an early 12-cent. It is Bat Baby. So cool cover. I got it for pretty cheap. But if I ever find it again, I will be upgrading this. Next we have Batman 167. And this is dipping into the era I love of Carmine Infantino. Him and Neal Adams are pretty much the only two main Batman series titles where I will buy any cover issue that they did. And then we're going to go to Batman 170. Beautiful purple cover. This one's actually in pretty good shape for the year it was in. Love this cover. Then we are going to go 173. This is another pretty high-grade Silver Age 12-cent issue. Also Carmine Infantino. If you're not familiar with him as we go through, you should be able to recognize just the big boldness, the colors, everything about it just pops. Next up, we have Batman 174. And you'll see as I've zoned in on these issues, even though they're older, I've gotten most of what I'm looking for in terms of every issue that I could. I'm bouncing back and forth between Batman and Detective, so the holes are taking a little longer, but it's fun nonetheless. Next up, we have Batman 177, another cover that I just love, Batman on Batman on Batman. Issue number 179. And because of the sheer number of these I have, I know it's only a short box, but I don't want to stack them up off to the side, risk them falling, so one comes out, one goes in, keep it nice and easy. And my entire personal collection is all bagged and boarded in Mylar with fullbacks. And this book is actually one of the rare times I got a little shafted on eBay. I don't think the seller was even aware of it, and it's really hard to see. But on the spine and in the bottom corner, somebody definitely used black ink of some kind to color touch, so there was a lot more spine-breaking ticks and creases that you now cannot see. But if you open the front cover, you can see a little bleed through, and you can tell that somebody did something to the book. Overall, I prefer to have all of my books complete, unrestored, regardless of condition, and I shy away from restored. So that one I'm definitely looking to get rid of at some point. Batman 184, and I love any Silver Age black cover, doesn't even matter the title, could be Aquaman. I pick them up just because I love them. The black, when you get in a good grade, the black pops, all the colors pop, has that neon effect. And this one, I actually have 2 copies because I found them both for such a great price. Most of the comics I get either through eBay or through YouTube claim sales. This is Batman 186, the first appearance of Gaggy, Joker's little hench clown there. But a fair chunk of these I also got from my local comic shop. He was actually a buddy of mine that was selling off some of his personal collection, and he reached out to me first, which I'm extremely happy for. This is Batman 188. This is the first appearance of the Eraser, and this is another gorgeous, high-grade, dark purple cover. Love this cover. Batman 190. While, like Neal Adams, Carmine Infantino has a lot of classic covers, but this is also one of his more classic covers. People just love it. I love it too. Batman 191. This is actually a recent pickup from one of Mint Hunter Comics claim sales. And this is actually in very, very good condition. I was really happy when this showed up. Next we have Batman 192. And again, with this one, you can really just see, especially if you can find them in high grade, the dark backgrounds with the colors, everything about it just pops. It's big and it's bold. I love this Silver Age era. They are beautiful. Next we have Batman 194 and a gorgeous high-grade red cover. And there you have Blockbuster right there on the cover, smashing the Bat logo. Batman 195. And this is another issue that, because the color has... I'm a big sucker, apparently, for purple covers, too. I love purple covers in high grade. But because it has that nice dark purple, it's really, really hard to find them without the spine just full of ticks or in very good condition. This one, I was very happy when I scored it. This is a beautiful copy. The green on the purple just pops. Batman issue 200. This copy is not bad, but I still want to upgrade it. It has more of a off-center spine that I want. I don't like that much of the spine roll showing, and it's slightly cockeyed. There's a little bit of fading and discoloration in the top corner I'm not a fan of, but for how much I paid for it, it's a good copy until I find a better one. Batman 202. Batman and Robin, Gravestone. Again, dark background with that hint of purple in there. You also see with a lot of these covers, they really, really utilize the purple and yellow on backgrounds. Big fan. Batman issue 206. This is another recent high-grade pickup. This one I also got from one of Mint Hunter Comics claim sales. Batman issue 207, and once again, extremely high grade, also from one of Mint Hunter Comics claim sales. That was definitely an expensive day that day. Half of them I go in, not looking to spend any money, and then he drops these Silver Age goodies, and I end up coming out broke. This is Batman 209, another issue I have not read yet, and I have no idea why Batman is a tiger, but that color with that black background, this thing pops. It is beautiful. It's another one with a dark background. You have to have it in a high grade to really appreciate it. Really, really love this cool copy. Just look at that. And this is where we start getting to Neal Adams goodness. We have Batman 212, Commissioner Gordon and Batman right there. Beautiful black background. This is Batman 213, giant size issue. A lot of people like these. I'm not as big a fan. My OCD wants everything to be as uniform as possible, so I'm not as big a fan of filtering through my collection and I have the giant issues in there. The covers are still great, but my OCD, it throws it off a little bit. Then we're going to go Batman 215. I believe I also won this from one of Mint Hunter Comics claim sales. Nice 15-cent issue now. Also classic Neal Adams, Batman blowing up Wayne Manor. Batman 217. This is a gorgeous condition copy. Again, I got from my buddy at my local comic shop who is selling some of his personal collection. This thing is beautiful. Batman quitting, leaving the cave. Alfred right there. Love this cover. And a lot of the ones coming up now especially, again, we're dipping into all that Neal Adams goodness that I've been zoning in on. And all of these covers are pretty much just amazing. So here we have Batman 219 being pushed out of a plane right there. This one's probably fine plus to very fine. Good condition, could be better, but pretty happy with it. Next we have Batman 220, the classic blowing up the phone booth issue. And again, a lot of the Neal Adams issues also is when this Batman logo changed right here where it's inside it, and I love that logo on these issues. You're going to notice that for the next few coming up. This one I had shown off in one of my previous videos. This cover, again, shows off everything I love about Neal Adams. The detail, the color, I love the perspective where you have this angry mob down below looking for Batman, the bats flying up, the light catching the underside, Batman crouched on a gargoyle looking down. If I do my detective issues, you'll see a lot more of this. And that same perspective play right there, you see with the first appearance of Talia al Ghul, where he's up top looking down, the first League of Assassins when he's hiding in the tree again, looking down. Now, I have another recent acquisition from one of Mint Hunter Comics claim sales. This is the classic Batman 222, the famous Beatles cover, where you have the Beatles members walking from the tombstone right there, trying to figure out one of them's dead, but which one is it? Love this issue. This one is pretty well known, pretty pricey. This is in very, very good shape, minor spine wear, but the reason I got it for such a good price is there is a little tick chunk taken out of the corner right there, but the overall book displays way better than what I could get for the same price, so I love this issue. Next up, we have Batman 224, another high-grade Neal Adams goodness. Love this. Batman 225, another good example of perspective, with the policeman down below, shining a light up top, Batman doing a mad dash up above them. Love this cover. Batman 226, and this is another example of a gorgeous black cover with that neon purple just popping off of it. The outlines of the guy with Batman on the cover right there just popping out. This issue is very, very high grade. The only thing that kind of brings it down a tick for me is on top of the Comics Codes of Authority, somebody did scribble with pen. Everything else is in great shape, and I honestly didn't even notice it the first time, so I'm happy with this one. This one I also showed off in a previous video from one of Mint Hunter Comics claim sales. Batman 227, this famous Neal Adams cover homaging the Detective Comics famous issue. This one is just one of the Neal Adams covers that everybody goes to, that they love, they seek out. You have the mansion up there, woman being chased, Batman silhouette just overlooking it all with the clouds of mist. This cover is beautiful, one of the most sought after. This next issue, in my opinion, is extremely underrated. This is Batman 229. Now, Neal Adams does have a lot of great issues, great comics, great covers, like the ones I've just shown. And I get why everybody points out those to his best. But to me, it never made sense why I never hear about this one. This cover is gorgeous. One of the things Neal Adams and one of my other favorite Batman artists, Greg Capullo, are great at is showing off expression and faces. And here you have the pink, yellow Batman logo coming off of it. You have that dark green background, purple suited, almost Igor guy right here, locking Batman in. Batman's face of terror as he's being grabbed, and you can see the silhouettes in the background of this horde of people coming after him. This is pretty close, but this honestly might be my, if not favorite, one of my personal favorite Neal Adams covers. This cover is gorgeous, and I love the expressionism and detail you get on Batman's face. So this, I believe, is highly underrated, just in terms of, I know Neal Adams has a lot of good stuff, but I never hear anybody mention that one. This is Batman 230, just another classic Neal Adams cover. And this one I actually recently got in an even better copy that I'll be adding to the collection instead of upgrading. So I'll be getting rid of this one, putting the better one in its place. We're cruising. We're almost halfway through the short box. Batman 231, another classic dark Neal Adams background cover. Love the way the details just pop off the page on this one. The Man Who Saw With His Fingers. This next issue, Batman 235. This issue, while it also demonstrates what I mean, in the swamp, Batman has abandoned his cowl. I believe it's Talia and some thug are looking for him right now, so he's clearly being hunted down. You always have the classic Neal Adams moon in the background. Batman hiding up in this tree, leaping out, making his move. I love this cover. This was a really, really hard one to find a good copy I wanted, because it is extremely hard to find them in high grade. And when you do, I was noticing this is a thicker book, hence the bigger and better. So the spine right here, this one you'll always have, or usually always have, a little bit of white showing like this. But a lot of times the spine roll is off, so you actually have where it's here, plus another white section double that. So in addition to that being unsightly, the more that it pushes the cover this way and you get more white spine, the more detail on the side you lose. So a lot of the copies I was looking at, the R and daughter was completely cut off. As you can see here, it touches it a bit. Half of the Robin Circle, the comics code, that would also be cut off. So it took me a while to find a very high-grade copy that was also the perfect centering I wanted. This one I was extremely happy when I finally found it. Next up, we have Batman 236, just another beautiful Neal Adams cover. And then, Happy Holidays, we have 239. Classic Neal Adams Santa Claus Batman right there, bringing gifts to this family. This cover is beautiful, perfect for the holidays. I love everything about it. Next up, we have Batman 240, just another classic Neal Adams cover. Batman 242, in addition to being another classic, I believe this is the first appearance of his persona, Matches Malone. Anytime he wants to go into the criminal underground, get a little information, he disguises as Matches Malone. That's his alter ego. Now we're getting into that 20-cent Neal Adams goodness. Batman 245. This is another gorgeous copy that I got from my buddy at my local comic shop. Beautiful condition, only minor ticks on the spine. Everything about this is just complete and pops. Next we have Batman 246. This is the classic and controversial Robin hanging cover right here, as Batman walks in on the body. And it's pretty bad if you have to say, not again. Then we have Batman 247 special holiday issue. Just more Neal Adams goodness. Batman 248. I love this blue cover, ghost plane coming through, gunning down this guy. Batman runs towards it. How can you stop him from something you can't see? Love this cover. Next we have Batman 249, just another classic 20-cent issue. Batman 250. Again, a lot of these 20 centers are almost as popular for Neal Adams as they are his 12 and 15-cent issues. Just, it matters a lot more the condition once you get up in the 20 centers. Batman 252. Beautiful spook cover. I love the purple of the coffin and the casket you have there, the way it offsets against the dark background. Batman 253. This was another one from my buddy's personal collection, and I was extremely happy with this one because in addition to it being higher grade, the spine is almost perfect in terms of centering, and almost every other issue I happened upon had this huge fat spine from a spine roll that I wasn't a fan of, so I was extremely happy that his was in such good grade and the centering was good. Batman 227. We're going to start going through these ones just a little bit quicker now. Batman 279, classic beautiful Riddler cover. Batman 280. Batman 281. And with these ones, it was more of an opportunity and condition buy, so you'll see the numbering get a little further apart, more sporadic. Batman 283. Again, love this purple cover right here. Perfect use of camouflage. Batman 287. Love this Penguin cover. Penguin, in my experience, doesn't get enough covers, and they always do them pretty good when they do. Batman 289. This one, super high grade, not as big a fan of the grayscale. Batman 293. Love the way this orange pops. Batman 294. Also another cover that just pops. Love this. Super high grade. This is a beautiful book. Joker covers you can very rarely go wrong with in general. Batman Special 300th issue. And a lot of these ones, as we get higher now, were specifically claim sale buys that I got for an extremely good deal. Batman number 302. This was actually the rare exception. I got this one in person. I found this at the Antique Mall over in Quechee, Vermont that I love to go to. They have plenty of comics, plenty of sections, but it's really hard to find good stuff. But when you do, it usually goes under the radar and you get it for a good deal. Batman 311. Batman number 321. Another great Joker cover. Batman 327. I love this Asylum Straightjack cover. The green characters surrounding Batman so he really pops out of the cover. Love that one. Batman 330. Just like the classic Batman Forever. Woman's coming in between Batman and Robin. Robin mistakenly thinks that Batman will choose him. Batman 331, and I believe this is the first appearance of the Electrocutioner, which if you played Batman Arkham Origins, he had a huge role in that game. Batman 345. This one I think I got in a dollar bin, which is why most of it's great, but it does have some staining on the side right here. So I would like to get a different copy at some point. But it's also not a copy that is super, super high on my list. So if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to care. Batman 359. Classic cover, and I believe this is the first real cover appearance of Killer Croc. I love this cover, all the rogues surrounding him. Batman 360, another one that slight staining discoloration up top, so if I do find another copy, I would upgrade. Batman 370. This cover I only found out about recently, and I love it. Pretty much Batman and Robin trapped in an alley, fighting their way as they're backed into a corner through just wave after wave of thugs. The Bat logo on the wall behind them. Love this cover. Probably it reminds me of the movies The Raid and The Raid Redemption, which I really, really love, where you're backed in, you just have waves of thugs after thugs coming at you, and you just keep going through them. Love this cover. Batman issue 400. Batman issue 401. And I believe this is also the first appearance of Magpie. Batman 404. This is the beginning of the classic Batman Year One storyline by Frank Miller with this classic cover, Batman, or Bruce Wayne, by his parents in the alley. Batman 405, otherwise known as Year One, Part 2, another classic cover. Batman 406, this is Year One, Part 3. SWAT team moving into the building, coming after Batman. I think I'm still missing Part 4. That's one I just want to find in the wild, great high grade, hasn't happened quite yet. Batman 408, this is the classic Batman happing upon Jason Todd, stealing the tires and rims off of the Batmobile. Batman 410, just a great Two-Face cover. Batman 411, kind of Two-Face continued. Batman 412. This cover is just big, bold, high-grade pops like this cover. Batman 417, and this is the start of the KGB storyline, which was his first appearance. I forget if his actual appearance was in this issue or the next issue, but this is the storyline that he first appeared in. Batman 418, 10 Nights of the Beast Part 2. Batman 419, 10 Nights of the Beast Part 3. And Batman 420, 10 Nights of the Beast Part 404. Then we have Batman 422. Love this cover. Another just big, bold one. Takes up the whole cover. Batman 424. This one I only bought just because of the condition. This thing, not a flaw on it. Batman 427. This is book 2 of the Death in the Family storyline where Robin dies by Joker's hands. This one, same thing. I get around to picking up every so often. I still don't have them all. This might be the only one. I forget if I have more. Oh, and I lied. It looks like we're going to dip just a pinch into a second long box, actually, for just a few more of the newer issues. So we have Batman 431. Beautiful hanging upside down cover. Batman 436, part 1 of 4 of the Batman Year 3 storyline. Batman 450, just another great Joker cover sitting in the darkness there. Batman 461. And Batman 472. And it looks like I must have hid some of my other ones in a different box, because I definitely have a few more of the later Scott Snyder Jock covers, as well as a lot of the Jim Lee Hush storyline, and I don't see that in this box. So who knows, maybe I'll tack that on. If this video does well, maybe I will do another video with Detective Comics. But for now, that is it of my raw Batman collection. And Batman, for the most part, most of my books, even Spider-Man, I try to do the entire run raw, except for the major keys, so any first appearances or extremely classic covers. And for this one, I actually did have a few slabs that I have to show off as well. So, first book being Batman, number 126 in a 6.0. This is the first appearance of what I believe is the second Firefly, Ted Carson. The first Firefly was, I believe, much earlier. That book is way more expensive. I love this pink cover. Super good condition, given it's a 10-cent Batman for 1959. Next up, I have one of the jewels in my Batman collection. This is one of Neal Adams' most famous covers. This is Batman 244 from 1972 in a 9.2 white pages. This is the classic Batman Ra's al Ghul Duel in the Desert. Shirts off, capes off, cowls off. Manly hairs of chest where men were men. People just love this cover. I love this cover. And this is another good example of perfect centering on this, where it is all just framed right there. I am extremely happy. I won this probably 1 or 2 years back at an eBay auction for way cheaper than it was going for. I believe even cheaper than it's going for now, given it's a 9.2 and a white pages. This is one of my favorite books in my Batman collection. I love this cover. Next up, we are going to go with probably an even more famous cover of Neal Adams. And Batman 251, this iconic Joker cover, where Denny O'Neil and Neal Adams took the Joker from a clown, a joke character, kind of that funny 60s era, and actually made him a menacing threat. This is one of the also most famous Neal Adams covers. Everybody loves this book. This is an example of one I regret getting, because while it is 1973 in a 6.0, and I got it for a good price, I didn't think I would win it. And had I actually known I was going to do it, I would have done more research, because this one has a decent size white border on it, and with how dark of a blue the background is, it's way more noticeable than I want. So I would like to get another copy that is both slightly higher and the centering is just a little better, so I don't have any of that white strip, and it's just the main cover taking up that front view. But happy to have it for now. I'll probably be selling this one off to fund my better copy of it. But for now, this is my Batman 251. Great Neal Adams goodness. And the last one I have is Batman 423 in an 8.0 white pages. This is the famous McFarlane Batman cover that I hear he did super rush job. Hence why some of the anatomy under the cape doesn't really make sense, but everybody still loves this cover. I grew up also loving Spawn, so I also really love this cover because it's reminiscent. This one I picked up raw at a comic shop had graded. It's one of the few books I've ever sent in. So I'm okay with an 8.0 white pages, because for me it's just cool that I found it in the wild myself. So that's it for the main Batman collection. So there you have it, everybody. That is my current main Batman collection. Now I do have a lot more of, like I said, New 52, which is what originally got me back into comics when Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo took over the Bat title in 2011. I have a lot of limited series, single issues, one-shots, things like that. But for my main Batman run, there it is. It's probably not going to get too much bigger because I really only want more of the Neal Adams covers I'm missing and the Carmine Infantino covers. If this video does really well, if you guys like it and you want to see more, let me know in the comments, because I would be willing to do my Batman Detective Comics run, because that one is actually contained to a short box. Going through all the Batman, again, looks like it was just a touch over a short box, but Detective Comics is firmly in that one box range. So let me know if that's something you'd be interested in seeing, and thank you guys for checking in.